And now, more with Social Women, with your hosts, Pat Cruz, Amy Diaz, and Bronwyn Dannenfelser.
We're going to be talking with mixologist Willa VanNostrand, and this is really exciting. If you are tuned into us and are watching us live, we've got Willa here, who is the owner of Little Bitte. She's the winner of the RISD's Cocktail Culture Contest last year, and she's absolutely gorgeous. And she's got this beautiful 50s dress on, and we've got a bar here, kind of with like all these little elixirs. So welcome, Willa.
Hello. What a pleasure to be here.
We're really excited because this is the first time that we have a bar on Social Women. It's like we're throwing a party.
I think we should have it every week. Well, it kind of fits in with, our Social Women thing. And I love the 50s. I love this kind of artisan feel to cocktails. And Willa, I think we should start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how it's kind of led you to Little Bitte.
All right. My name is Willa.
Hi, Willa.
Hi. I am an actress and performance artist, and I do installation art as well. I am working at a gallery in Providence called Bonacorsi and Agnel Gallery, and I'm helping the two owners, a husband-wife team, run the gallery and doing some printing for them. And I am obsessed with food and drink, so that is what led me to this fantastic Little Bitte here.
It really is such a wonderful business idea that takes everything that you do and kind of combines it into one.
Yes.
So tell us what it is that Little Bitte does.
Okay, we do, we as in I, do cocktail catering. I do home parties, private parties, weddings, anything where you need a, sort of a sparkle or a toast. Signature cocktails. That's what I do. I do all fresh juicing, artisanal bitters, small batch liquors. I consult with restaurants and companies and people who want to have parties, and I build a cocktail menu, and that's what Little Bitte does.
That's really cool. And Amy was talking about glycemic indexes or something because we've got, what is that?
This concoction here, this has an agave nectar base, and the other, it's equal parts agave nectar and St. Elizabeth allspice dram. This is a liqueur from the West Indies, and it's really incredible. This will be the base of the featured signature cocktail for Social Women called La Marasca.
Oh, we are
La Marasca.
La Marasca.
That sounds very sensual.
I'm going to smell, I smelled this, but you ladies, please.
That smells incredible. Now, I know that your mom is an herbalist, like an awesome herbalist. So is that where some of this passion kind of kicked in for your love of herbs? And because you've always got like fresh thyme and rosemary when I go to the E&O and see you putting things together.
Yep, at Lily Marlane's on Atwell's and E&O Tap on Ninth Street. I always kind of bring in my own elixirs and herbs and spices when I can. That's my style of cocktails. So yes, my mom's an herbalist. She's a midwife, general healer, really incredible. And I grew up on a small herb farm. I went to a boarding school where I studied sustainable farming, and then I also studied slow food, living in Italy for a year. Slow food and printmaking, interesting.
Fabulous.
Yeah, food and art have always been very much a part of my life, so that's what kind of drew me into this artisanal style of making cocktails.
And I like the fact that you use your theater in it too, because
Right, yeah.
when's the I miss cocktail parties. You remember like that whole feel of the 50s, or even fondue parties that were big in the 70s. So was there something specifically about the 50s that really kind of resonated with you, or was it
cocktail culture in general? Anything from pre-prohibition era documents of cocktails, I am entirely interested in. I have some really old cocktail manuals that I've stumbled upon, have been given as gifts to me.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and so a lot of my drinks have a background in classic cocktails.
Does a highball fit in that category?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You always hear about people in the 40s and 50s like, give me a highball.
Give me a highball.
What is a highball?
A highball is, it's a style of glass, and its base is whiskey, sometimes a rye whiskey. I believe originally it was rye. And then either soda or ginger ale, sometimes sugar, sometimes a lemon.
So like I drink Jack and Cokes now, so I'm actually drinking a more modern day highball.
Yeah, definitely. Coke making it, Coke being the fizz to it. It's not a traditional highball, but it is a modern variation of the highball.
See, so I think that we should, the neat thing that I'm seeing is this revitalization in Providence of the artisanship. Again, so we had Candida here, who is an artist as well. What you're doing, and I think a lot of the people in their 20s that I see that are going out, they're really bringing back craftsmanship to a lot of these things. Like, I remember for a while there was just mixes that you brought in,
Right.
and then you mixed in some tequila with something, and there was your margarita. The people aren't doing that anymore. They're bringing it back to the craft,
Yes.
and that's awesome.
Yes.
So-
Speaking of the craft, can we? What is it that our social women drink is going to be?
It's got a
I'm like,
twinkle in our
I do.
Let me
I
demonstrate.
do. Please demonstrate. And I have to
Sure.
say about the agave. What I was mentioning before is that what's great is that this lets us know that drinking can be healthy. Because
Really?
yes, because what
I'm going to tell my wife that.
I know, but you know what? What agave does is it substitutes honey, correct?
Yep.
And
Or sugar.
or sugar, which
Yeah,
is
specifically.
yes, exactly. And what usually happens is that when sugar enters your system quickly, it turns into fat because your body doesn't have the time to digest it. But with the agave, it processes a lot slower. So the sugar actually digests the way that the agave digests the way that it should, and therefore not turning into fat.
That's really cool. And so does that also, so you've got that side with the agave, and then when you bring all your herbs to the table, especially as well, and I know you use a lot of bitters. Is it true that bitters cure a hangover? Or they help prevent a hangover?
They can. I don't know what can cure a hangover. I don't know what. I think not
Sleep.
More
drinking
beer.
so much.
Sleep and a lot of
beer.
water.
More beer.
Sleep and a lot of water, a couple of Advils, and you're all set.
This is really amazing looking. So, and it's in the presentation too, isn't it? Here, because I see you with these
Definitely.
special glasses that
There's special glasses. Are those blueberries?
These are Luxardo. I shall show you. Luxardo maraschino cherries. They are, as opposed to a maraschino cherry, which, as we all know, it's that dyed red cherry floating at the top of your Shirley Temple.
Yes.
Wonderful in a time and a place where you need that. This is the original cherry, and it is sort of brandied in Luxardo liqueur, which is a specific cherry liqueur that's clear, and then it cures them and candies them. They're brilliant. And this is your garnish in this cocktail. I usually do all kinds of fresh cocktails, but it being winter, I wanted to kind of go with the flow and get, those warm spices, a little bit sweet, but also bubbly. We have a crisp Prosecco left for
Which
for
we
Lauren.
will pop right after the break.
All right.
Yes, we will.
a great
You're listening
new
to Social
company
Women.
that brings artisanal cocktails back into the season. And what a difference it makes when you go to a party and there's just that little something special that's there, whether it's like a special little hors d'oeuvre or the right decoration, or in your case, well, you do performance, again, mixed with these beautiful artisanal herbalist cocktails. And she's making one for us all right now, everyone, which is our social women. What are we calling this?
This is La Marasca. This is this social women's signature
I
cocktail.
guess we should be going,
after that. I love it. So right now what is it that you just did?
Okay, we're doing a quarter ounce of agave nectar mixed with St. Elizabeth allspice dram. It's just a splash of the allspice dram. And then the base is a Luxardo cherry, which is the original maraschino cherry, and that is your garnish. And the top is a Prosecco top. I'm using La Furlan today. I got this at Bottles Liquor Store. Beautiful Prosecco, nice and dry, perfect for parties.
Prosecco is like, is that like champagne?
It is like champagne. It's the Italian version of champagne. And with really good brands, you get the same bubble, those micro bubbles.
Nice.
Now let's hear the pop.
All right. Here we go, ladies. Yes, a Prosecco toast.
So now
Prosecco toast.
you're making all different sorts of concoctions all the time, right?
I am all the time.
And where can people find those?
You can find them on my blog. I am Little Bitte at Blogspot or my Facebook page, or in person. You can find me at the E&O Tap on Fridays, Family Fridays. And my family owns that bar, my brothers and my dad. So you can find me, my dad, my sister, and
I think I've been there a few times.
You've been. We've been there a few times.
And also, you can go back to Ustream later on and watch how Willa made all of this. Watch us actually on our YouTube channel, and we'll make sure to post your blog on our Social Women Facebook page so that our listeners and viewers can find you.
Wonderful.
And the little recipe for this
Yes.
Social Women concoction, which looks
She's
excited.
handing champagne around right
Okay,
now. So if you hear
fabulous.
our voices change a little bit, that's why.
So
Classic champagne coupe. The cherry garnish is sitting in the bottom of the glass. You see the bubble of the Prosecco and a slight honey color of the agave mixed with the St. Elizabeth allspice dram.
That's so cool. Can I say something? You know, I've been looking at, we talked about this last week when we had Rinda on from Jerry Care, and actually we've done it with almost all of the guests that we have coming on. We're talking about people following their passion, really following their bliss, I guess, and taking the things that they know how to do well and that they love, and turning them into a business, and into money. Because you can see the fire in your eyes. You really enjoy the performance aspect, and then you put it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really neat.
I think it's great. So you loved creating drinks. You've made it an art. You have brought it into the places that you're working. You hire out as almost a bartender at the home, right, for a little special touch.
Yeah.
I think that's so creative to take those pieces all together, and just the way you're dressed and everything, she kind of adds that, that whole package is put together. So it looks
It's
great.
wonderful.
I love it.
It's wonderful to see a young woman really follow her passion.
How old are you, Willa?
I'm 24 years old.
It's
Freaking
so
amazing.
I don't usually tell people that.
Wow.
because they- yeah.
You know what? It really is. As a young lady myself, it's really wonderful to see someone take their passion and just, somehow, some way, you're going to do what it is that you love, so that work doesn't feel like work. It's just life. And
Is there
Thank
a
you.
tip that you would have for like other young girls who think,
I
hey, you
just-
know what, I'm really good at this, or you're starting their own business? Is it
Yes, of course. I think really visualize what it is you want to be doing, and really think about at heart if that's right for you, if literally your heart is in that, and then kind of hold that in your mind's eye, see yourself doing it, see yourself in 5 years doing it, and see what that can blossom into. Cocktails. I love cocktails. Is this performance? Yes. Is this art? Yes. I think, with time, this will grow into, something.
It will certainly grow.
certainly
And
will.
you are a
Here's
talent.
Willa VanNostrand.
You're an
Here's
absolute
Willa
talent.
VanNostrand.
Are-
here
I had to
is-
clink, but I have
we're
some-
going to clink. Here's to Willa. Thank you so much for joining us.